it's on my mind, it's rolling through, and I'm replaying and rehashing discussions and rehashing my life and how I started this.
In a shocker, nobody could have predicted Kody Brown has just remarried, and his bride is none other than a new woman named Sara William. Yes, you read that correctly, before fans are even running around trying to figure out who this woman is. Kody has already uttered, "I do," and stepped into a whole new life. Wait, that's only the start. The emotional fallout. Meri Brown's sister wives' longtime fans were shocked as Meri allegedly cried when she read the news about the wedding for the first time. And yet, in spite of the devastation, she's now doing everything that everyone is talking about, and that's smiling. So, what happened? Let's go back years of torturous splits, strained marriages, and emotional rides with his former wives. Christine, Janelle, and Meri were finally left behind by Kody as he leaped into love once more. But this time it's with someone who is worlds away from the polygamous culture he had previously stood up for. Sources claim that the wedding was a quiet and intimate ceremony where only a few close friends and kin witnessed it. It happened suddenly, stealthily, and with hardly any fanfare. At least not until leaked photos started circulating online. Intrigued? Yet you ought to be. The photos depict Kody happier than we've ever seen him in ages, standing next to Sara, a gorgeous brunette whose past is still mostly under wraps. Who is she? That's what's overwhelming. Fan boards reports say that Sara is a business owner who had no prior connection to the sister wives universe. Sources say she and Kody were introduced to each other by friends, and after that things progressed quickly, extremely quickly. But that's where the story gets really emotional. Meri Brown, the first and most longtime wife of Kody, was reportedly shocked by the news. Friends who witnessed the events at the altar report that she was crying when she saw Kody and Sara at the altar for Meri, who endured years of emotional isolation and broken dreams of reconciling. This public show of Kody's move on struck especially close to her heart, just as fans worried that Meri would go off the rails once more. Something entirely unexpected occurred. She showed up days later, not broken but smiling, and on a weekend break with friends with a soft but emphatic gesture, she shared a cryptic post on her Instagram story. Sometimes letting go is the beginning of something beautiful. Might this be her own hidden message to fans and Kody that she's finally prepared to move on? As per usual, the internet had a lot to say. Some fans spent time applauding Kody for beginning a new while. Others scolded him for leaving behind a family he spent almost 3 decades constructing. Meanwhile, mystery surrounding Sara William only continues to build. Who is she? Actually, what does she do with the way Kody looks at her? And is she prepared for all the high-stakes scrutiny and drama that comes along with the Brown surname? One thing is for sure, the Kody Brown drama is very far from having its last page turned. With this latest surprise, marriage fans are left wondering the million-dollar question: is this Kody's moment of redemption? Or are we seeing the beginning of another bout of mayhem? But the ultimate twist, it could be Meri Brown who's finally receiving her own fairy tale ending, even if it does not resemble one bit what she envisioned. Let's take a closer look, because this scenario just keeps getting crazier. There's something about Kody Brown that just keeps causing controversy. It could be his words, his actions, or his self-proclaimed victim complex. But whatever it is, viewers have trouble, if not impossible, really feeling for him. And in part one of the latest tell, all Kody didn't help himself. Rather than reflection or accountability, he leaned hard into the position of the victimized hero. Viewers sat with raised eyebrows, watching as Kody cast himself as villain to victim. He asserted he's been unduly demonized throughout the years, a wine that's wearing thin to many of those who've watched Sister Wives since day one. And then came the moment that really dropped jaws. Kody, in utter seriousness, referenced Batman Returns. Yes, the DC comic movie, to justify his circumstances. Sitting down for the interview, he actually said, "If you don't die the hero, you live long enough to become the villain." Seriously, Kody, at that time, most fans cringed, some even snickered as he compared himself to the likes of the Penguin, the Joker, or the Riddler. Is this a superhero origin story? Or a reality show gone wrong? But that wasn't the only thing Kody went on openly owning up to. "My mouth runs fluidly." He admitted how much he talks without thinking, then tacked on, "It's hard to be held responsible for the things you say in the heat of the moment." And while this sort of candor may draw sympathy from some longtime listeners have already forgotten, sympathy for Kody has apparently run dry years ago. Nevertheless, Kody contends it's a love thing he mused over the deterioration of his relationships with Christine, Meri and Janelle, attributing jealousy for most of the arrangement. And according To him, his relationship with Robyn is something divine, something more, and he's been slapped down by others for simply feeling it. Here's another bombshell. He told how he's sick of being guilt-tripped for loving Robyn, so much so that he confessed to walking around flipping two birds. Yes, that's a direct quote. He's angry, unapologetic, and unrepentantly in love with Robyn, even if it means losing the approval of the public. And while Kody might imagine himself as a tortured hero, some real life, Batman viewers don't quite see Christian Bale or Michael Keaton when they gaze upon him. If anything, most consider the only reference point for Batman that applies is the one where the character goes off the deep end. Because let's be real, in the eyes of the audience, Kody is no superhero. He's just a dude fending off the detritus of his own doing. But it's not only Kody Brown living out a superhero dream. The Sister Wives ladies are embracing their own fictional alter egos as well when questioned about which characters they most identified with. Their responses were telling, and honestly pretty motivating. Janelle was the first to say something. She compared herself to fried green tomatoes. Evelyn, a woman determined to reclaim her power and write her own narrative. She's going to remake her life. Janelle said she's going to take her power. It was a strong, candid acknowledgement of someone who's finally placing herself first. Meri's response was no less strong. She identified with Cheryl. Strayed, the free and rambling woman played by Reese Witherspoon in Wild Meri, characterized the book as a role.
I thought it was acceptable. I thought I could make up the difference. I thought everything in this situation with all three wives. This isn't about being
feelings, ugly, hurtful, lovely one of self-discovery. And maybe for Meri, this time in her life is her trek through the desert. Hurtful but liberating. And Christine, she was lighthearted, but revealing in her response. She drew an analogy between her life and the film, everything everywhere, all at once. She chuckled, it's just chaos and we're just busy constantly. But I love it, that sums it all up. Christine is enjoying the chaos and living for every moment of it. But while Sister Wives as women keep growing, maturing, and even laughing at their own pandemonium, Kody Brown is still well delusional. The first time he proclaimed himself to be an anti-hero was when most fans officially checked out. You could pretty much hear viewers from Coast to Coast saying, "Does this guy even watch his own show?" Between previous episodes, sit-downs with his wives and kids, and numerous blog posts dissecting every step he takes, it's obvious Kody's account of what happens doesn't always add up actually. Throughout the tell, he and Robyn were constantly called out by followers for contradicting each other. Fans on social media even started sharing side-by-side images of what they had said in previous episodes compared to what they were saying in the TE, and lo and behold, the contradictions were obvious. There are still 3 more tell episodes left, so who knows what else will spew from Kody's mouth. And that leads us to Janelle, the fan favorite, the glue of the family from the very start. In 2010, for years, she was the voice of reason, juggling finances, keeping things together, and frequently acting as peacemaker. Even Kody accorded her respect, which is more than he paid to most. But now that they're not together anymore, fans are left wondering, should Janelle actually continue trying to remain friends with him during the tell? All Janelle spoke candidly about this very question, asked if she could imagine having a continued friendship with Kody and Robyn. She at first attempted to be tactful. I could still be friends with Kody. She stated, I never really had a relationship with Robyn, but as the discussion continued, her tone changed. I don't have any hate or ill feelings. She said, I just don't really feel like getting to know them. And with that, Janelle made one thing very clear. She's not bitter, she's not angry, but she's moving on. She even defined, sure, I could sit and chat with them if it was all small talk, but more profound than that, the emotional connection is lost. And perhaps that is the true tale here. While Kody Brown is away comparing himself to Batman, his ex-wives are out here claiming their reality, reauthoring their lives, and finally taking center stage Sister Wives world. It appears as such that each tell, all episode reveals a new truth and another twist to the story. But this time, it is not merely drama. It is change. The Brown women aren't merely surviving. They're taking their lives back, even if it means they have to abandon Kody. Brown stunned Sister Wives viewers when he proclaimed himself an anti-hero without apology. Indeed, you heard correctly. But whereas Kody may have felt like a misunderstood TV personality, most fans just rolled their eyes. Most fans were left to ask, does this guy even watch the show that he's on, or read one blog, or hear his wives, or even his kids? Before long, fan accounts began digging. They grabbed clips from previous episodes, lined them up next to each other with his recent claims, and the contradictions were astounding. Kody and Robyn, his last wife, were soon labeled as dishonest at the tell. All when they were asked difficult questions, they evaded, refused to respond, or replied with discrepancies that didn't fit with years of footage. Robyn, she actually commented, she said she'd rather get a root canal than be there. Ow! As the host interrogated the other wives, Robyn sailed through accountability, and no one, man or woman, noticed to viewers the hypocrisy too much. And for Janelle, just the last straw, and while Kody holds on to his anti-hero dream, the sister wives women, they are stepping into their power and finding strength in fiction. Janelle put herself in comparison with Evelyn in Fried Green Tomatoes. She's going to remake her life. She's going to take her power, Janelle told me with quiet resolve. And she is Meri put herself in comparison with Reese Witherspoon's character in Wild, a woman walking alone through suffering, recovery, and rebirth. It's a beautiful story, she told me, and it is in many ways hers. Christine, she split with everything, everywhere, all at once. It's just madness and we're always busy, but I love it. She laughed, and rightly. So Christine is thriving in the madness and loving the mayhem. But the spotlight really landed on Janelle, who's finally coming to terms with the past, when she was asked if she could remain friends with Kody or Robyn. She hesitated. Well, I might still talk with Kody. I never really knew Robyn, she said. But the more she spoke, the more her truth spilled out. I don't need it. I don't want it. Janelle confessed, I'm just not going to be buddies with them or go to lunch. Then she let out the real bombshell. I just don't like them. I don't want to know them. She's not bitter, she's finished, and she's moved on. Geographically, Janelle has fled Flagstaff and begun a brand new life in North Carolina, operating a farm with her daughter. No more co-parenting necessary. Their children are adults, and quite honestly, there's nothing more to say. She even looked back on her marriage. If I had a year with Kody, I don't know if I would have married him, really. It's obvious that for Janelle, the lies, the favoritism, the ignoring it all summed up. And now she's done with being burdened. And no more pretend friendships, no more pretending, no more Kody and Robyn. They can keep living in their bubble of denial. Janelle's too busy creating something genuine. Janelle Brown has spoken emphatically about moving on from Kody and Robyn Brown. She's willing to talk to them if the situation arises, but she no longer wants to be friends. After years of being treated as a second-class citizen in the multiple marriage, Janelle doesn't want to pretend to be friends. She told the truth. Honestly, I just really don't like them. I don't want to know them. Janelle has moved to North Carolina and is operating a farm with her daughter. She's decided to put the dysfunctional dynamics of her past behind her and move toward a healthier, more independent future. Janelle confessed that if she had known Kody longer before marrying him, she might not have wedded him at all. Her recent introspection about their previous life and her resolve to move ahead reflect her strength and character concerning Kody and Robyn. Sister Wives fans have complained about their unwillingness to provide straight answers in the tell. All special most think that the couple still refuses to own up, while Janelle has had enough of their antics and has decided to leave it all behind. Christine Brown, with whom Kody shares 6 children, was previously devoted to their polygamous relationship. Her marriage started going awry when Kody became increasingly centered on Robyn. Though emotionally starved and isolated, Christine ultimately decided to end the relationship in November of 2021 to be happy for herself. Since she left Kody, Christine's life has changed for the better. She lost weight, built her social media following, and started a successful rental company in Utah. One of her rentals in Hurricane, Utah, is even on Airbnb and VRBO, and she frequently offers special promotions for her fans. Christine also rekindled her romance with David Woolley, having fallen for his personality. The two tied the knot in 2023. David has been a good partner and a kind stepfather to Christine's children, particularly her youngest daughter. Truly, the family enjoys happy moments as a group, including recent adventures in Goblin Valley State Park. Christine frequently shares sentimental updates, revealing to fans how much she loves this new stage of her life, from French honeymoons to cruise vacations to the Bahamas. Christine is living a full and adventurous life with love and liberation. Christine Brown is continuing her path of self-improvement and self-sufficiency. Following in the footsteps of her fellow former sister wives, Janelle and Meri Christine announced the publication of her own memoir, where Janelle had started Tata Farms, an agricultural business, and Meri launched her motivational brand, Worthy. Up Christine is now moving into publishing in March 2025. Christine eagerly revealed the cover of her new book named Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom. The cover of the book shows Christine sitting tastefully in front of a gray background with light makeup, a red blazer over a black dress, and chic accessories. She posted the reveal to fans, mentioning that the red attire had emerged victorious in a landslide vote. Christine was extremely thankful to her publisher and revealed that the memoir is set to be available for sale. Starting in September 2025, she invited her followers to pre-order early, with an implication that copies may run out. This memoir is a turning point in Christine's life, since it explores her own experiences in polygamy, motherhood, and her transition to freedom and joy. Christine is one of the original cast members of Sister Wives, appearing on the show for almost 15 years, with her minimal presence in season 19 and her increasing detachment from ex-husband Kody Brown, though it looks like her time on Sister Wives is running out. While fans used to perceive her as being at the center of the show's drama, her new existence with husband David Woolley in Utah is one of a new beginning, one that's growing further and further apart from the remainder of the Sister Wives. Cast Christine's present storyline is devoid of the soap opera the show tends to revolve around, and she's demonstrated little desire to reconnect with previous co-wives Meri Janelle or Robyn, with Christine preoccupied with her marriage business enterprises, and now book she might decide to sit out season 20 altogether. This, combined with the potential departure of Meri and Janelle, might see the ultimate end of Sister Wives as the primary family setup breaks down. Sister Wives Season 19 remains emotion-provoking, particularly on its 4-part one-on-one interview shows. In one of the Part 2 teasers, fans at last got to hear Robyn Brown address Janelle Brown's now famous comment deeming her Kody Brown's sacred cow, a reference to Robyn's apparently off-limit status within the family. Throughout the segment, host Sukanya Krishnan had no hesitation in asking Robyn outright, "Did you enjoy being referred to as a sacred cow?" Robyn's reaction was, "No, I don't know, whatever, I don't care." However, her forced laughter and tense face indicated otherwise, sending fans into speculation that the remark cut deeper than she allowed. Meanwhile, Janelle Brown was not so diplomatic. When asked if she saw herself with Kody and Robyn in a future relationship, she answered outright, "I just don't like them." Christine Brown chimed in, delivering a stern opinion on Kody's involvement in the demise of the family. "If you've got a guy who 3 of his wives leave, it's a problem with the man." Fans were quick to overwhelm social media with their responses. Some accused Robyn of emotionally checking out on the show and contributing little during heated conversations. Robyn contributes nothing to the discussion. She's doing this out of obligation, time for her to leave. One commenter said. A second commenter chimed in, "Now, Robyn doesn't care. Guess her work is complete here." A third commented bluntly, "Family ruined, marked off her list." I truly wonder if Robyn would be smirking and laughing if they asked her about Garrison Brown, Janelle's deceased son. Others wondered about the usefulness of the tell all episodes if cast members just avoid or shut down tough questions in a more lighthearted interlude. Fans also caught a glimpse of Kody and Robyn's notoriously quirky home decor, one eye-catching piece shown in the hallway, a dramatic wall hanging constructed of seashells and semi-precious stones, as eye-catching as the couple themselves, where Sister Wives tends to center around relationship tension and family conflict. The decor preferences of the couple provide their own narrative, one that is heavy with symbolism, dramatic design, and a lot of fan feedback. Robyn and Kody Brown's old Flagstaff residence recently became a source of fascination after fans took a virtual tour through real estate listings and Reddit excursions. Among the numerous highlights was an eye-catching wall piece constructed of semi-precious gemstones and seashells, a showpiece that immediately evoked reactions that ran the gamut from good-natured amusement to raw criticism. The wall piece in question is a long rectangular base covered with what look like tanzanites, amethysts, and other CLs. Portions of the shells remain open for a dramatic oyster on the half-shell effect, though the individual pieces, ranging from iridescent shells to purple gemstones, are stunning on their own. Their group display on one board has been criticized by some fans as too much. On Reddit, a post called "Mindful" prompted a chain of threads analyzing the decor. Another user joked that it was a geologist fever dream meets beach souvenir store, although others acknowledged the workmanship was distinctive, if not to everyone's taste. Although Robyn and Kody have not revealed publicly the significance of the piece, crystals and seashells are laden with symbolism. Tanzanite is said to be connected with transformation. peacefulness and intuition qualities that perhaps would appeal to someone in deep personal or spiritual transformation. Amethyst, a stone long, prized for its protective and healing properties, is reported to bring clarity and peaceful thoughts. Seashells are most often used as protection, femininity, and subconsciousness symbols, linking them to emotional analysis and inner development, since Robyn's fondness for purple hues as seen in her clothing and even the color of her home has long been publicized. It's reasonable to speculate that this painting may have been more than merely a piece of art, but rather an expression of self, of course not. Everyone was nice. A few social media commenters called the home decor tacky, citing Walmart rugs and busy prints as indications of what they perceive as bad taste. Taste is subjective, and to Robyn and Kody, this is a home, not a showroom. And for longtime Sister Wives fans, this may be the bottom line, whether it's relationships, family dynamics, or house design. Kody and Robyn have never followed anyone else's plan, no matter what others say after selling their Flagstaff property for $9 million and purchasing a new home for $2. $1 million. It's clear the Browns are settling into another chapter. Whether their new home continues, this eclectic aesthetic remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: love it or hate it, their style starts conversations. It's no surprise that Reddit fans haven't always been too generous with Robyn and Kody Brown's interior design choices. One commentator simply stated the couple didn't do much to the house other than splash purple in the bedroom and throw random pricey art all over the walls and counters. The opinion that the look is a bit sloppy is one that many share. But there's more going on than initially meets the eye for those who feel that crystals have mystical powers. Tanzanite holds profound meaning, found in the 1960s near Mount Kilimanjaro. This stone is held sacred as a balancer, believed to bring about serenity and keep emotional levels stable. Interestingly, Robyn is a Libra, a sign indicated by the scales and equated. With balance and harmony, Libras are usually skilled at balancing different areas of life, work, relationships, and self-care, in much the same way gymnasts skillfully balance on balance beams. This association implies that the fact that they have tanzanites in their house may not be all about aesthetics. It may be a gesture that hints at Robyn's need to keep things in check emotionally within the chaos of reality television drama and family dynamics. Libras are notoriously attracted to beauty and refinement, which accounts for Robyn's taste for purple colors, a color traditionally associated with royalty and beauty. Her art collection comprising dreamy paintings and amethyst gems. Also a gorgeous purple color bespeaks the aesthetic. Sensibility commonly associated with the air sign Libras do, however, have a dark side, though they are usually charming and diplomatic. They may also be occasionally passive-aggressive or manipulative on a sly level. This could explain times when Robyn appeared to rub the happiness with Kody in everyone's faces, which alienated some viewers. The drama that often comes with Libras may not always be subconscious, but could be the means by which they spice up their lives, either consciously or subconsciously. Actress Gwyneth Paltrow, a fellow Libra, has been subject to similar complaints. Her ex Ben Affleck once called her a snob, calling attention to how this sign's confidence sometimes gets viewed as arrogance in spite of the detractors. It's easy to see Robyn keeping company with what she adores: art, color, and crystals that hold symbolic meaning. Amethysts, such as tanzanites, are valued not just for their aesthetic appeal, but also for their supposed healing qualities. Whether the Brown's house decor is a deliberate reflection of these qualities or just their personal taste, it's a candid glimpse of how reality television stars design their personal spaces amidst the glare of the spotlight from crystal vaults. These semi-precious stones are said to ward off individuals from psychic interference and negative energies in the past. Catholic bishops also used rings embedded with amethysts as a way of avoiding mystical intoxication, a hearkening connection considering Robyn is a practicing Christian non-Catholic. This religious symbolism adds depth to the gemstones in their dwelling, which means that these stones can also be protective talismans, guarding Robyn against bad vibes or energy from enemies. The seashells decorating the sculpture are more than mere ornamentation. Seashells, as Harper Crown explains them, symbolize growth, metamorphosis, and the passage of life, just like mollusks develop and add to their shells throughout their existence in numerous native cultures. Seashells feature prominently in healing ceremonies, which are said to purify and refresh the soul. For Kody, this is personal. His own life has been characterized by deep loss, most notably the sorrowful passing of his son Garrison. Brown's such personal tragedies thrust a frequently painful metamorphosis, And Kody's strength in the wake of tragedy shows this continued process of healing and development. Kody's growth is also seen in his behavior when he gave his former wives, Janelle and Meri Brown, bigger slices of their Arizona property, with each walking away from the sale with $35,000. It was a conciliatory move toward mending broken bonds. It's a sign of a man ready to move beyond anger and hurt toward a calmer, more balanced existence now installed in a new home. Robyn and Kody seem to be embracing a new beginning. Life is still complicated with residual stress from ex-husbands and widows, but the new setting provides a haven, a warm upscale nest where their love still survives. Despite obstacles, their interior design, from the iconic gemstones